With over 34 years of experience in renowned educational institutions, including Sardar Patel College of Engineering, Dr. Thampi sir has made significant contributions to the field of engineering education. Dr. Thampi sir's expertise extends to the realm of business process and re-engineering within engineering education. He has actively participated in numerous research endeavors, contributing to the existing body of knowledge. As a mentor, he has guided more than 20 research scholars. Sir has penned over 85 research publications and books. His works includes titles such as Object-Oriented Programming in Java, Programming for Mobile and Remote Computers, Mobile Communication and Computing, and a book on project management. His expertise, experience, and his commitment to maintaining the highest standards of integrity and transparency in research can set a benchmark for aspiring researchers like us. Dear colleagues, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Dr. G.T. Thampi sir. I request sir to share his valuable expertise in the philosophy and ethics of academic research. Sir, and also one more introduction about me also. I was your student in 1996 in SPC part-time BE.
Great to see you.
So many years.
Govind.
Yes, sir.
Haldamgar. Yeah. So your face is familiar.
Yes. It just started, sir.
Yeah. So I'll start now.
Yes.
So good morning, everybody. My greetings to one and all. At the outset, I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Y.S. Rao, my colleague, a man of intellect and caliber. He is having an eye for bold and beautiful. I am little bold in conveying my understanding. Therefore, he selected me to conduct a session. Thanks a lot. So what I am suggesting need not be the gospel truth. Is my call on research ethics and philosophy. It's not absolute truth. But then it can give you a different perspective, understand, analyze whatever is amenable to you, you accept, integrate in your journey of the pursuit of excellence and knowledge. So recently, UGC introduced this component in the coursework, philosophy, ethics, and publication ethics, etc. is essentially because by virtue of practice, we as a system, whether it is academics or politics or in economics or international affairs, we constitute a system. Systems are susceptible to system traps. So seldom we acknowledge the system traps. One of the foremost system trap is rule beating. For the welfare of the society, mankind, for the business, for the establishment, government of the day creates rule. Multiple other agency creates their own rules, essentially to make the process more structured, more efficient, more productive. But then we are out of the jungle. So our history is for the last 2000 years. Before that, we are in the jungle and the rule of the jungle prevailed. So we are having thousands of years evolution, history. So a lot of things are biologically programmed. The predominant one is, they say everything is captured by what? The survival of the fittest. So now, thereafter, we are initiated to civilization, civilized life. Therefore, we are still undergoing Darwinian evolution, very slow. Therefore, this survival instinct, animal instinct takes over. Therefore, the system trap called rule beating. So, a lot of people will find ways and means to circumvent the existing rule. In university systems, so my talk will be by and large focusing on research in technology, science. So university system, after introducing research in technology and science, etc., and the governing bodies, statutory bodies, regulating bodies made compulsion for PhD, for promotion, etc., then human instinct takes over. Some of the population will be trying to escape the rigor of research, real research, because there is a motivation of getting promotion. Even the promotion is associated with the promotion of the teaching guide, the guide or supervisor. Therefore, it's natural that here nobody is villain, nobody is hero. It's natural that the community, the teaching community or research community, majority of PhDs or teachers, by teachers, very limited population from outside. There are exceptions. Outside professionals also join academic research. But then that is a small population. Anyway, this process of research subjected to the system trap called rule beating. We are also suffer from another system trap, that is bounded rationality. Bounded rationality. Even in research, we don't look at further part of the system. We'll always energized by the immediate visibility. Therefore, the research, understanding, knowledge created, etc., is limited in nature, because we as a part of the players and actors in the system suffer from bounded rationality. So it's worth the reading about rule beating, system traps in general, rule beating and bounded rationality. This occasion, I also like to sensitize you about one more multiple, more than 10 enumerated system traps. But for this context, I'll also cite one more system trap, that is tragedy of commons. So limited resources, if all the players are trying to optimize their fortune, then the system collapses. That is the crux of system traps, the tragedy of commons. So why this philosophy? Why this ethics? The system realized that a lot of rule beating happens. Therefore, to sustain the process of academic research, they go on introducing new way of stabilizing, sustaining the system. So my period, there was no, in Mumbai University, there was no coursework. But then people even misused, need not be in engineering, other faculty, ME thesis, slightly modified and submitted as a thesis. MPhil dissertation is modified as a thesis, all kind of plagiarized work. So to minimize, to eliminate these practices, the system gone adding new measures. So initially they started with coursework compulsory. Coursework is not bad that way, because majority of the researchers are teachers. Teachers are subjected to extreme conditioning by teaching similar subjects, few subjects, day in, day out, years together. So people are subjected to extreme conditioning and getting into the furthermost details of a subject matter. Extreme conditioning happens. That prevents teachers to understand new literature, emerging technology. So whoever designed this coursework is essentially also bothering about unstructuring the mind of the new research scholar, introducing them to some quantitative techniques, some research methodology, and presentation skills, asking students to present some topics. These practices are essentially deconditioning the mind, improve the preparedness of the people to undertake objective studies, analytical studies. So that way, coursework counts, is adding value. Now, recently, the system also introduced this philosophy content. Fortunately, there is no examination. The moment somebody is subjected to evaluation process, again, rule beating takes over. Even now, if I am initiated to an evaluation process, an examination process, my brain automatically will be trying to tackle the complexity of examination. Not much effort to learn what is given on the ground. So coursework, etc., the flow is what? Initiating voluntary involvement. Best of their understanding, they also introduce some evaluation. But fortunately, this philosophy content, there is no evaluation. Therefore, it invokes curiosity into the learners. Now we'll examine what is this philosophy of research. Whether it is the subject arts or science or commerce. So every discipline initiated research work, Ph.D. programs. So the degree getting awarded is Ph.D., Doctor of Philosophy. So that means the goal is same, independent of the path. So everybody is striving to reach a goal. So that goal is certified as a Doctor of Philosophy. That means the man, the human being, the research scholar is initiated a process where he attains some kind of nirvana, some kind of enlightenment. So that enlightenment happens by serious, deep search for ultimate truth in the area of research. That's the philosophy. You are searching for the ultimate truth, ultimate knowledge. It's all started in BC thousands of years ago by Socrates. His follower Aristotle, then Plato. These are the famed trio of father of philosophy. So all this is essentially meant for the sustainability of human race or sustainability of the world at large. So we are at present, we are witnessing COP28, essentially a measure by international government, intergovernmental bodies to guarantee to move towards a sustainable world. All this is connected. So a lot of scope for, in the current scenario, a lot of scope for researching to find energy efficient methodology. Without much thinking, I'll say a lot of scope for developing new algorithm for blockchain technology. At present, blockchain technology, blockchain practices consume massive energy. Going forward, we are going to deploy a lot of quantum computers. Again, massive energy. So in the context of environmental issues, carbon zero protocol, I exhort a lot of researchers, future researchers, undertake research to reduce energy consumption. So a lot of scope for, recently some algorithm was introduced for blockchain, which drastically reduced the energy consumption. Still a lot of scope. Now, coming to ethics, even these are there in our native languages, Naitikata, Achar Samhita, Nidhi Shastra, is associated with morality. Morality again is subjective matter. So different group, different people have different morality. But there are some common agreement on moral practices, moral judgments. In broader sense, ethics reflects on human being and their interaction with nature, with other humans, or freedom, on responsibility and justice. So we are trying to understand, we are trying to profile academic research in brief, a systematic process of studying research problem or a situation where the intention is identify the facts that help solve the problem or deal with the situation. The crux of academic research is creation of new knowledge, obviously to again sustain the human race, society at large. Now, academic research, by and large, start with identifying a research topic, area of research, which resonate with both guide and the student. They are having a natural liking for a subject matter, blockchain, AI, deep learning. By default, they are having an affinity. You start from there, they identify which is close to their heart, emotionally compatible. Then you are expected to carry out a literature survey, go through the published work in the public domain. Then your intellect says something is missing. I perceive, I understand, my perception, my perspective says something more is possible. Now, after reading much of the literature, you relate with your intellect, you relate with the possibility, then you jot down some research gap. These things are not discussed. These are possible to research and find solution. So you are jotting down after carrying out extensive literature survey, sufficient enough to create substantive research gap, then you stop for some time, jot down the research gap, then your effort is to minimize the research gap, eliminate or minimize the research gap. To minimize, eliminate research gap, you are jotting down the research objective. You are decomposing the complexity of the research gap in terms of multiple sub-research themes. Together is a research process. You are compartmentalizing the research problem. So you are identifying 4, 5, 6 research objectives. Then you actualize the research objective. Then come out and say this is the research attainment of the research objective. You are also jotting down now the ways and means of carrying out research. It is called research methodology. There is no hard and fast rule how to carry out. At the end, you should succeed in creating new knowledge. That is the bottom line. Then obviously for PhD, you also need to bother about the documentation. People should feel that it is a documentation of scientific research. It embodies systematic hard work. Nothing intellectual about academic research. It is systematic hard work. If somebody is intelligent, then they can reduce the time required for completing the research. That's all. Otherwise, nothing great about the intellectual stature of the research or the research guide. Now, I am having a take on the current state of academic research in India, especially in science and technology. Majority of universities other than IITs keep IIT model at the center of the research. People can have different understanding. A lot of talk about downplay the research topic, research initiative, knowledge creation part. Majority of the people will be focusing on the research methodology. Lot of statistical process artificially getting introduced. And majority of the time, the guide will be insisting for downloading, studying IEEE, ASME kind of publication. No, they are enamored by these publications. IITs are doing the same. But then there is one more issue along with philosophy, ethics. There is another term called politics in research. The developed countries, first world, never ever carry out any research, any academic research, which will contribute to the economy of some other part. They are very, very clear about their research strategy. Here in India or third world countries, too happy to contribute to the economy of the first world. Yes, while popular Amul Dairy chairperson, Mr. Kurian, a classical example, introduced a process of converting buffalo milk into milk powder. Then from Europe, from Australia, from New Zealand, a lot of new publication denouncing the impossibility of converting buffalo milk into milk powder. So this is a classical example of the politics in research. In short, the first world will always bother about contributing to their economy. They'll not waste any time, any effort to contribute directly, indirectly to other economy. If American research doesn't find a specific material abundantly available in US, they'll not introduce a research topic which indirectly deals with that material. Here we are too happy to publish in IEEE. They are having a mechanism. They are initiating IEEE chapters in all over the world. They collect thousands of publications from all these third world countries, second world country. They are having a mechanism to scan through all this. And even by accident, if somebody comes with a new understanding, that is captured and practiced immediately. Therefore, they also finance IEEE chapters. So still, we are getting blackmailed by American-driven or first world-driven procedures and standards, including accreditation process. So we as a country even get blackmailed by global ranking. And to improve the global ranking, we are pushed, the academia, the institutes in India is pushed to publish papers, not to contribute to the economy, to get a decent grade in the global ranking. So these are the disconnect between the philosophy of academic research and ethics. We are subjected to global politics and global agenda. And one more thing, because majority of the guides are conditioned by their own subject matter, they seldom introduce the research scholar to carry out multidisciplinary research. The topic can be from management, optimizing the man, machine, and money, using AI technique. So a lot of inertia in introducing multidisciplinary. There is a possibility of merger of commerce, management, environment, technology. Now the government of India also exhorting, asking people to carry out multidisciplinary research. It is happening in colleges and institutes, universities, without seriously understanding that what they are doing is a multidisciplinary. The system also suffer from high caliber research guide and supervisor, essentially because the budget set aside for research and higher education is minimal. As country evolved, it become more affluent. The government of the day expected to set aside more budgetary allocation for research and higher education. That's the only way to change the scenario. The tenets of academic research, the crux is, even if it is small percentage, the focus should be on creating new knowledge. So when we help student research scholar finalize the research topic, majority of the time, research scholar come and say, sir, not much publication. limited this because they are conditioned by their postgraduate experience, dissertation experience. Dissertation is essentially semi-research. There you implement the existing thing and come out, you critically analyze and come out and create a dissertation. But that is having tremendous effect on the psyche. They'll also insist with the teachers, also insist with the undergraduate students, somehow create a working model. The focus should be on what is the learning. Undergraduate project work are expected to help the student learn new things, independent of whether they succeed in creating a working model or not. I've seen the teachers who fail to develop few lines of code will always insist for working model. The point is the focus should be on all this effort. The focus should be on learning, creating new knowledge, new insight. It's not satisfying tick mark all the matrices, all the boxes. Don't straitjacket the whole process. Understand why it is introduced. Undergraduate level, postgraduate level, PhD level, it's all about learning. It is about creating new knowledge. People can be awarded with PhD degree if they succeed in succeeding in adding to the existing body of knowledge. Even if it is not acceptable, appreciated by the industry for implementation, if the research scholars succeed in adding to the existing body of knowledge, they should be awarded with a degree, PhD degree. All start with the understanding of searching the absolute truth. Why PhD? Why higher education? Independent of the subject matter, whether it's art, science, everybody should undertake a journey which leads to discovery of ultimate truth. You can interpret what is this ultimate truth. Obviously, the new reality, capitalist system, we are away from feudalistic system where it is hugely elitist. When Oxford was invented or established, Cambridge, Ivy League, at the beginning, people were bothering about searching the ultimate truth. Now, the economic system is different. The means of production is with individual entities, business entities. Now, to survive and thrive in the marketplace, in the global community, you need to create wealth and value, marketable value. So now research is also undergoing some transformation, metamorphosis to contribute to the cause of society at large. The bottom line is possible try to contribute to the process, wealth and value creation for the society at large. Help the local government to build efficient process, eliminate waste. What is waste? Waste is essentially any non-value adding activity. So academic research should at least succeed in identifying, eliminating non-value adding activity. It is adding to the process of creating entropy. Entropy is a measure of unusable energy. So a lot of process is adding to creation of higher level of entropy, which is disastrous. At least academic research can contribute to reduce the accumulation of entropy in the society, in mankind, in the atmosphere. The researcher needs to modify, to collate the act together, understand and appreciate trusteeship. So a lot of understanding of trusteeship. If a research scholar is getting awarded with Ph.D. degree, thereafter his responsibility is to create. So the transfer of the guide is transferring the trusteeship to his research scholar. Now the research scholar's moral duty is to create another similar research scholars who succeeds in completing the PhD program, research program. So that is the crux. The moment the research guide sign, if the research scholar is succeeding in satisfying the research guide, 80% of the research is over. The process of evaluation of research is over. The only 20% remaining for completing some formality, again to resist the rule beating. 20% effort is to get approval from two Mumbai University, two outside examiners. But fundamentally, the biggest influencer evaluator of a thesis is by the guide. The guide signed the thesis means it's all over. Then some formality of getting two recommendation from, three recommendation, two recommendation from outside agents, outside entities. So that is the value of significance of the trusteeship. The demigod for the research scholar is the guide. Some places, again, rule beating, some big entities, big non-entities misuse the research scholar for carrying out personal agendas. That is having a disastrous effect on subsequent change. If a research scholar got abused knowingly, unknowingly by the system, the academics, by the university, by the institute, he carry for the same, except few. Majority will replicate that. So don't create a bad preference by initiating research scholar to further the agenda of the institute, agenda of the department, agenda of the research guide. Especially now, research scholars are getting enrolled in self-financed institutes and universities. By and large, they pay the market rate. So there is no scope for misusing their service. They should remain focused for the research at hand. Now, academic research also having a telling effect on the ecosystem. If a department having 50% of the faculty with PhD, that department becomes little research, the temperament, the rhythm of the department is modified. After undergoing a research, the life rhythm, the respect for details improves. So they are going to, by and large, people are going to be different. after undergoing a PhD program, academic research program. And a lot of insistence needs to be there for evidence-based research. The ultimate objective, the effort needs to be on validation of the research finding. Without validation, without evidence, nothing is so great. So focus on evidence-based. Give a lot of importance to the validation of your research finding. Whether it is by experiment, by simulation modeling, by survey, and statistical method, by hypothesis testing. So historically, majority of the research start with hypothesis forming. In addition to research objective, majority of the time people also creates hypothesis and hypothesis testing by statistical means. And at the end, like other first world country, our research also should contribute to the nation building process. Out of 10,000 researcher, at least one researcher should succeed in creating basic footprints of breakthrough technology. It is happening now. It is happening now in artificial intelligence. Lot of new startups are there with ideas. They are going to succeed. They are going to succeed in creating use cases of generative AI, large language models in multiple use cases. They are going to rule the roost. They are going to get a lot of market nationally and internationally. So when you start the research program, if you can focus on target some breakthrough understanding, breakthrough technological innovation, that is ultimate. Our research, a certain degree of research in academia is essential to sustain the current level of economic growth of the country. The universities, institutes are expected to create a supply chain of researchers to industry, business at large, government at large. So these are the ways to transcend oneself, the researcher, transcending to a philosophic entity. Creating a culture of innovation in investigation research. Ideally, it should result in new knowledge, creation of new knowledge. Your department, your immediate neighborhood should be appreciative of the culture of innovation, culture of research. You are supposed to contribute to the immediate neighborhood. The research need not be aimed at creating a new model of quantum computing. Research can be more contributing, more rewarding if it is solving some immediate neighborhood complexities. No one approach fits all geographies. You bother of your own geography. Don't get blackmailed by the standards and norms set by other people. You are expected to be bold enough to be self-sufficient, emotionally, intellectually self-sufficient to create your own standards. The crux should be what? Whether I am contributing to somebody else or not. If you are succeeding in contributing, that is ultimate. For everybody's sustenance, everybody's well-being, is advisable to contribute to the national economy. Now, examining the ethics in research, more specifically, ethics in research looks at how to conduct research in a way that is responsible and uphold the integrity of scientific process. It's all about the integrity, research integrity. That is the result of multiple other good practices. Ethical consideration in research are set of principles that guide your research designs and practices. So even from conceptual stage, design stage, understand what are the essential practices which can be termed as ethical practices, underpinning morality of the time, of the place. So I'm enumerating some research ethics. So give utmost importance to confidentiality. The research should be confidential. Don't divulge to other part of the system. Moreover, this confidentiality is also about if an entity, if a business, industry is divulging, giving data, don't reveal. Nobody, no researcher, no research evaluator, guide will insist for guide is fine, but then other entity should not know this data belongs to what. If at all you are revealing the source of data, that should be with their consent. So don't violate the trust. So wherever you are acting, take consent from all the entities involved. Data collection, get consent from the concerned authority. Using computer lab, research facility, get consent from people concerned. So wherever you discipline your mind, mental faculty should be disciplined to align with the standard protocol. Again, confidentiality like anonymity. Without consent, don't reveal. Wherever possible, don't reveal your identity, don't reveal the other's identity. Some research study can be spurious, can be negative with negative connotation. So informed people should be taken into confidence before undertaking any suspicious, any doubtful research project, research topic. Ethical hacking is fine, but research into hacking or using AI to disrupt or spy, AI technique for carrying out espionage of the defense systems or the research labs, research and development labs of other entities, other competent entities or competitor. Academic research should not do it. There is a morality. So if somebody having any doubt about the moral standing of the research topic, consult people. Therefore, they say getting ethical approval for your study. Independence in research. Don't get carried away by the agenda of other entities. You are undertaking a process of searching the truth, creating knowledge. That way you and your research team and guide, etc., needs to be independent. Unlike the Amul story, don't publish research paper highlighting some lacuna in the process of converting buffalo milk into milk powder. You should be independent. You should have that kind of integrity. Don't reduce as a host researcher. Potential for harm. Whatever you do, you should not harm anything else in the ecosystem. No entity in the system is at equilibrium. A small system having 3 entities, A, B, C. If you disturb A, understand what is going to happen with the B and C. So nothing great about acting as a lone wolf. Understand that your action, your research finding should not harm other part of the system which is in equilibrium. And try to have a cordial relation between researchers. No room for envy, no room for plagiarism, no room for theft. Whoever undertake research needs to have a big heart, walk extra mile to enable other people without compromising your interest. You empower yourself first, thereafter you walk extra mile to help other. That's fine. And in a hurry to complete your research or focusing only on the degree, people should not violate the intellectual property right, especially as a member of Indian community. India is an emerging economy. We as a country, we as a researcher, we as a university needs to demonstrate high level of standards. No pirated material in the research lab, no pirated material in the Institute of Higher Education. So as an institute, as a university, as a college, utmost focus should be on abiding by aligning with the intellectual property rights of the world. If you violate, you are going to get a bad name. Moreover, morally what? The intellectual rights are created by putting a lot of resources, years of work, billions of dollars pumped into research projects. If the research project, whoever constitutes the research project is not getting back, not recovering the expenditure, then people will seldom undertake any similar research. So this is happening in the realm of pharmaceutical research. Because of animal instinct for making more money, pharmaceutical industry violate intellectual property right. They circumvent. Theoretically, technically, they may not be violating, but then effectively violating. Don't get into that kind of practices. In a war kind of scenario, in a epidemic, COVID kind of scenario, some scenarios might be diluting this, but then by and large, develop and practice high level of ethics in aligning with intellectual property right. Now, plagiarism, copying, these are temptations. But the research guide should be very clear. So the research scholar will be aligning with the research guide. Now turn it in. It's a new tools available. ChatGPT kind of tools can give you a lot of help. But then if you are habituated to this kind of tools, then you are permanently losing your capacity to create your own creative intelligence. You will always crave for this kind of tools. Ghostwriters, stay away from plagiarism. Even resist from ChatGPT kind of generative AI tools. Now, turn it in kind of plagiarism software. Also give 0% plagiarism, but 90% generative AI plagiarism. It will give that. That is not acceptable. So don't try to circumvent, fool around. Develop your own way of writing, documenting. So at the end, everything, your research is boiled down to creating a research thesis. Understand the ways and means of writing. Initially, it will take some time to form your own sentences, your own paragraphs. But if you remain focused, it breaks like anything. Understand the first principle involved. Because like ChatGPT, people are also using Python libraries and MATLAB without understanding how to create a neural network from fundamental principle. They will be eloquent on various deep learning models, machine learning models, without understanding what it looks like. If you ask to create your own model, how will you do it? How will you start with? Majority of the people, even after getting Ph.D., fails to answer this question. Majority of the people will not understand the ways and means of creating their own neural network without relying on Python kind of libraries. Majority of the researcher will be failing to create a model. They'll speak eloquent about model. They'll not be in a position to create or understand the ways of creating. Even they'll be failing to understand the way of creating deep learning model or machine learning models. That is ridiculous. Therefore, there is a lot of scope for course correction. I'm exhorting all the research institutes and research supervisor to make it clear to them, in the absence of this, nothing wrong in using Python library or MATLAB library tools, API, but they should understand how to create this API. They need not create, but they should understand how a model is created, how an algorithm gets converted into a model, how a neural network exists, how a neural network gets created from the basic principles, first principles. These are the huge lacunas. So everything should be, again, the highest degree is PhD, academic research. So everything should be underpinning democratic practices. Everything should be voluntary. Everything should be persuasive. No high-handed, feudalistic, autocratic behavior from any part of the system. So that is the voluntary participation. Now, much more humanized perspective of ethics in research. Honesty, objectivity, morality, prudence, openness, respect for intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, responsible management, respect for colleagues, social responsibility, anti-discrimination. So now a lot of people talk about the ethical AI, the constitutional AI. AI can be hugely disastrous if the system, the governance, the establishment, ruling establishment fail to curtail negative research, a research leading to destruction of human effort, collective human creative ability. Unlike information security issues, advent of quantum computing and unscrupulous AI techniques can create mayhem, can create disaster. So impress upon the young mind, research scholar about the virtues of democratic, inclusive, gender neutral research paradigms, and impress upon them nothing great about research finding which can harm, which can inconvenience hapless people, unsuspecting people. Going forward, this issue will be getting magnified. So now onwards, keep an eye on this ethical issues, especially research which can lead to catastrophe. Now, whoever is interested in reading more ethical issues, for the sake of ethics, nothing need not be with the research. They are welcome. They can understand the difference between applied ethics, distinct from normative ethics, and meta-ethics. Meta-ethics deals with whether the morality exists or not. Normative ethics is an affirmative answer to the existence question. Existence, morality exists or not, determines what the fundamental principle of morality is. Applied ethics also usually assuming an affirmative answer to the existence question, address that moral permissibility of specific actions and practices. I stop here. Anybody having any question can ask now. I've taken a little more than what is suggested.
Yes, participants, any question?
So, okay, thank you. All the best.
Hello,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Very good afternoon, sir. I'm
Yeah, good
Abha
afternoon.
Tiwari. I'm a research scholar in SPIT. Let me first tell you, now I'm feeling more informed and inspired after attending your seminar today. I have a question like, what one mantra you want to give to current research scholars?
So understand the academic research, keep the knowledge discovery at the center of everything, and decompose the research process in terms of identifying the research gap, try to minimize, eliminate research gap through a series of research objective, select appropriate research methodologies so that you are succeeding in evaluating evaluating the result, validating the research. So if you structure the whole thing, then the research process will be more efficient. Literature survey, research gap. To reduce the research gap, you are creating a series of actions, that is research objective. You select appropriate research methodology so that you will be succeeding in easy validation. If you believe, if you are research guided, you believe that this is the way to validate, this is the way to validate. You don't concede to other people's automated mechanical argument. Academic research at the end should succeed in adding to the existing body of knowledge. That is the minimal requirement. Beyond, you can contribute more. And at the end, you need to have a moral courage to be a research guide, research supervisor, so that you're passing on the trusteeship of PhD process. It's all about trusteeship. Therefore, they say Doctor of Philosophy. Okay.
Sir, is it possible that ethics defined by each country different? Because some.
It is possible. It is possible. It's all subjective.
Okay.
There's a lot of subjectivity in everywhere. All the research, morality, absolute truth. It's all subjective. Western world is more materialistic.
Yes.
They'll not compromise on their. So we are little more people with a little more spiritual quotient. They are more into materialistic understanding. Even though they speak about democracy, etc., they are having their own agenda. They work, they show to the world in multiple layers. The outermost layer will highly sophisticated. They speak about eloquent on democratic principles, etc. But they are grossly in violation of a lot of things. They mobilize, accumulate a lot of wealth out of all exploitative methods, including colonization. So a lot of sophistication of a lot of European countries after sitting over massive loot over a period of 200 years of colonization of South Asian countries, colonization of Africa. So all this is there, a lot of subjectivity. But then we should uphold our own understanding. We as a country is little more with higher spiritual quotient. So whatever is natural for us, we should continue to do that.
Yes, any question? Yes, participants, any question? Okay, thank you, sir. Nice to hear after so many years.
Yeah, one more to update. Read. So you can. The shortest thing is you be part of LinkedIn, especially in nascent technology. Lot of awareness articles published in LinkedIn. So the shortest thing, you can also use any search engine to go on. You simply fire question, developments in AI, nascent technology. You give appropriate questions to prompt, you'll get a lot of answers. So that is make a habit. As long as you're committed to academics, research, etc., remain focused to update yourself. You need not develop a lot of insight unless otherwise you are part of a research team which is creating a breakthrough technology. Majority of the time, this is the blunder. So we as a teacher will be happy to go into the details. For example, our Dhananjay Kalbande used to ask teachers what? Can you write a program without mean? These are unwanted questions and unwanted information. So if somebody learns programming, you should understand how to, programming means you should develop competency in converting problem to logic. A physical problem is defined, it needs to be converted into a program. You need to thrive on art and science of developing that competency. On getting a problem definition, you should be able to decompose, then convert into different modules and develop a not understanding all this is subjective, different vendor, different platform giving different this. So, but teachers are by and large thriving on this kind of nuances, which never helps anybody. Even while framing question paper, people will be thriving. A lot of teachers will be thriving on asking this kind of not mainstream subject matter. So learn to understand the crux of the subject issue, thrive on that. Then you will not subject to negative conditioning. You will be better placed to learn new things. So me and my guide, Professor Mantha, published a paper long back in American journal conference. There we have delved on how to learn new things, nascent technology imperfectly. They appreciated there was no reference. We were a little bold in understanding, conceptualizing, and we published. Then we got a message to convert that into a 25-page publication.
Slow,
The Indian
Jaja.
system won't appreciate this kind of things. So
Slow,
the thing is, should not develop unless otherwise compelled by the scenario. You should not develop lot of detailed understanding of subject matter. Okay, Govind.
Yes, sir. Few words
Yeah.
I noted from your speech. These words in your pronunciation actually inspired the students. One is absolute truth. Second is applied ethics, intelligent hard work, marketable value to your research work, contributing to the society at large, develop an eye for details, trusteeship by initiating others to research, culture of research in growth of nation, own ethical standards, you have to develop at your own. So then you explain about some research ethics, that is confidentiality, informed consent, before presenting any kind of input presentation, before consent guide,
हाँ मैम.
independent research, getting ethical approval, respect intellectual property, skills like voluntary participation, and result communication with big hearts, plagiarism and turning tools, and habitual to use intelligent tools like ChatGPT, which will not allow to develop your own way of writing and thinking. Then creating your own model, for example, machine learning model without using the libraries like MATLAB or Python. Then neural network created from basic principles. So these are the few points I noted, and really all the participants have taken the benefits from your lecture. Anyone want to share something? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
All the best.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Dr.
Sir is a
Rao,
great philosopher. Yeah.
I am bold enough to have my propositions. That's all.
Yeah.
नहीं,
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
सर का वर्ड वो सर का वर्ड ही है वो सुनने में ही मजा आता है.
sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thanks.
Okay, so it's a great session by Dr. Thampi. So the next session is in the afternoon.
Okay, sir.
It is next session is by Dr. B. Satyanarayana, Scientific Officer, TAFR, at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Who is? You are introducing Haldankar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. Okay. See you all at 3 o'clock.
Okay, ठीक है.